Hello, my name is Jay, and welcome to Connected Podcast. Today we have artist KD Gotti.
What up? What up? What up?
So let's jump into the juicy topic. So, what is your purpose?
When you say what's my purpose, what in life with music, what you
Both
mean?
in general.
In general, just my purpose in life and just in general is just just getting the message across to as many people as I can, and really just just showing people a different way. Like what I'm saying. Like
Mm-hmm.
I came from a certain type of environment, and I was fortunate enough to break through from that and beat the odds.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's my duty, just to tap back in and reach out to the youth and just try to give knowledge when I can, whether if it's with the music or if
Mm-hmm.
it's with just my presence and them just watching me. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because I understand what it feel like to, not have nothing or not have much, or you trying to get somewhere but you can't really get there or know how to do it. So when you see
Mm-hmm.
somebody like me, it just like just do what I do. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
eventually, you're gonna get there. So that's really what drives me the most,
Mm-hmm.
and what my purpose kind of fall in at.
Okay. So this is the question I've been waiting to ask you all day.
Mm-hmm.
So Clayco versus Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You are very vocal about representing Clayco, your Pacific area within Atlanta. What makes Clayco unique, and how does the influence your music and identity?
What makes Clayco unique? Man, Clayco is Clay County, aka Jurassic Park, aka the land of the lost. That's where
Mm-hmm.
that name Jurassic Park come from. Is that came from Dunk. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So rest in peace to Slim Duncan or whatever like that. But Clayton County was always one of them places to where all the projects and all the different stuff around the city,
Mm-hmm.
when those projects and stuff got tore down, a lot of black people moved and shifted towards the south side. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? In Clayton County, they all shifted that way. So, you had all these different people, and it wasn't even just like folks from Atlanta. Like, there's people from all over different cities, New
Mm-hmm.
Orleans when Hurricane Katrina and all that. And you
Mm-hmm.
got all these different folks from different hoods that's in this one area. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And everybody, kind of putting on for what they on. But we always been our own thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Clayton County been its own world forever. Like, we never repped Atlanta. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, until like people started seeing what Clayton County was really about from, certain folks that came on the scene like Waka Flocka, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? He put on for the city, and you got all these different other folks. It was able to shed more light to be like, oh man, that's how the South Side doing it. That what Clayton County about. And then there was other people that came out. Then you got all these different branches of stuff on the South Side. Then folks start respecting it all around the way. It
Mm-hmm.
been respected, but once like we had more people to break through on the music and
Mm-hmm.
everything, they was able to kind of just just show a different light for the city.
Okay, great answer. So, Level Up was a major breakthrough for you. How
Mm.
did that experience shape your career and your approach to music?
Level Up, man. That was a legendary time for me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said before, like level every song for the most part that I do is always some game in it, some way. Like I'm trying to motivate you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I drop, I'm trying to motivate you. That's what I stand on. And with Level Up, it was, the name was self-explanatory. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, like, hey, leveled up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we elevating, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
this was going on. And that always been my message from day uno is, just trying to, what I mean, get it off the ground and pop it. Show these folk what you having going on. And level
Mm-hmm.
up. I had merch. It was a movement at that time, and that really
Mm-hmm.
kind of broke me through them doors for people to kind of know who KD Gotti is.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I'm all the way in there, but I definitely got my foot up in there to where it's like, okay, the industry in Atlanta in itself, they know, like, for the most part, the industry, they
Mm-hmm.
know KD Gotti. So that's why it's like it's only a matter of time for when I get that real breakthrough that I want. But when
Yeah.
it's come, it's gonna be so due. You know what I'm saying? And we're
Yeah.
like, he should have been got it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Timing
level
is
up
everything, though.
for sure.
So, your music often reflects your travels. How do you experience in different countries influence your songwriting and artistry vision?
Say that one more time.
Your music often reflects your travels. How do you How do your experience in different countries influence your songwriting and artistry vision?
So the different countries that I go to and how it influenced my artistry and my creativity, it's just, when I go somewhere, I always just kind of just enjoy the vibe, take it
Mhm.
all in, soak it all up, and as I'm going to different places, I write notes. I write
Mhm.
notes in my phone. So like for instance, like if I'm when I went to Brazil, I was
Mhm.
in Rio or whatever like that, and it was so many different places I was going, like the Saint Laurent steps. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That was a famous part of Brazil and Rio. If you remember the beautiful video with Pharrell and Snoop Dogg,
Mhm.
and they was standing on the steps and they was vibing, doing all that. That's the
Yeah.
Saint Laurent steps. They did that in Brazil.
Mhm.
But that was monumental for me, to be able to do that. And just to show people, like this is me. Like you looking at somebody, that only used to have $1, $2 in their pocket walking down the street trying to figure out, what I'm gonna get from McDonald's, you know what I'm saying, or whatever like that. And to seeing me now, you know what I'm saying, it'll make you proud. But that's just for one of the different places. But just
Mhm.
everywhere I go, it's the same type of thing. I soak it in, I write my notes, you know what I'm saying? Go through my experiences, and I try to paint that vision the best way I can
Mhm.
in my raps. Put a song together and just put that visual out. So
Mhm.
it's a process, and I just love doing it. And for me, it's doing it that way. That's what really kind of brought fun back to me for music. Like I'm gonna
Mhm.
be real. Like I told a lot of people this. Well, not a lot, but I done told some people this to where it was like, like with music as an artist, you
Mhm.
always come to that point to where you kind of feel like you going to that glass ceiling.
Mhm.
And, I felt like that at maybe once or twice in my career or whatever. And, I always just try to figure out how can I reinvent myself? How can I make myself different? How can I stand out from the next man? Because I never like looking like anybody. Like,
Mhm.
that's what I feel like make you cool. Like when you can be yourself, be authentic in who you are. You know what I'm saying? Whether if it's in your fashion, it's in the way how you talk, it's the way you move, your style, whatever it is. I strive to be different from the next man. Like I really like if they wearing this designer and all this and that, or I don't want to. If I see somebody with the same shoes on as me, my
Mhm.
stomach start hurting because I'm like, oh man, and these fuck done bit my. I can't even. I don't even want to wear it no more.
Oh my
For
god.
real. But yeah, yeah.
So, what was your favorite country you ever visit?
My favorite country that I ever been to, for sure was Egypt.
Egypt. Why?
Man, Egypt was so, just like I said in the song 10 a.m. in Cairo, man, it was just a spiritual journey for me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Egypt, I went to 3 cities in Egypt. I went to
Mhm.
Cairo,
Mhm.
I went to Luxor, and I went to Aswan. And
Mhm.
every city is different vibes. So in Cairo, it's more like, you know what I'm saying, like the capital type, type
Mhm.
shit. Like you go to Cairo, you see like the pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, all these different museums and everything, but it's so crowded, it's people trying to hassle you. But when I went
Yeah.
to Luxor is more like a country vibe. Like you see,
Okay.
man, like you see people riding on horses and carriages, like we in
Mhm.
the 1930s. Like I'm serious. Like I'm talking about, I seen folks, they had the riding donkeys and horses with the carriage in the back of them, and they getting wheat from the field
Mhm.
and tomatoes and shit. I'm like, what the hell? Like we in the 30s? But in Luxor, I went to the Valley of the Kings. I did the hot air balloon, which
Mhm.
was that was something like, man, I was spooked out doing that, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like I did that, and then in Aswan,
Mhm.
which was a whole different kind of vibe. Like a lot of people don't know about Aswan. That's where the Nubian people are. So
Mhm.
the Nubian people, that's the black people. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Them the black Egyptians. Them was the ones that, helped build the pyramid and all that. You'll see them on the hieroglyphics and all that, but they leave them out the convo. But that's what I enjoyed the most, because when I went there, it was so colorful. Like I'm talking, and I got vlogs and everything too. So
Mhm.
whenever y'all get a chance, you could check out the vlogs on YouTube called "Getting to Know the Grimes." So that's me
Mhm.
and my wife getting to know the Grimes, and we have the vlogs at every single country we done been to for the most part, and
Mhm.
we break it down or whatever like that. But Aswan was my favorite out of Egypt because that was just a dope experience. I mean, we was on Felucca boats. Man, we went to this village called Elephantine, and they taking us around like these folk don't know me from a can of paint, but they embracing me like one of their own. You know what I'm saying? So that was fun, and the money go a long way over there.
I bet.
Yeah, yeah.
So the International Gotti EP is a testament to your adventures around the world. Can you share some of your most memorable travel experience that have inspired your music?
My most memorable travel experiences that have inspired my music would probably have to be so many of them. I remember going to Hawaii. And like Hawaii, even though that's in the U.S., Hawaii is another world in itself. I was out in Maui. I went to this spot called Road to Hana, and on Road to Hana, they got all these different things that you can go to, and you'll see as you drive, and it's like a long trail that go for miles. And I remember driving and seeing peacocks and all type of stuff crossing the street, and also in Hawaii, I remember hiking this volcano called Haleakala. This volcano was 10,000 feet in the air. It was so high, matter of fact, that you above the clouds. So I could see over the clouds. You like that shit was crazy, like for real, like that. And they was telling us that a lot of the natives and stuff from the land from before in the older times, they would hike that volcano on as a spiritual type of thing to get closer to God or whatever like that. So that was cool. Let me think of another place. Italy was fun. I went out there to Italy. I went like to the Colosseum. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody's seeing, all these like gladiator movies.
Yeah.
And 300 and all that. So it was so dope seeing that in person. Like, oh shit, this is like the real thing. This really like how 300 be like.
Yeah.
The Colosseum. And Spain, I've been to Spain. That was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never would have thought I would have went to Spain though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still be trying to take all this stuff in. Like, damn, I did that or whatever. And being when I dropped this project, International Gotti, when I can soak it in and look at like the track list and listen to the songs, it's like, wow. Like, I'm actually going back to the times when I listened to them because I'm so detailed with how I'm like when I put my music together, certain songs like 10 a.m. in Cairo, I felt like I was there again. And what people don't know about that song is that audio in the beginning of the song, that's real audio from Egypt in Cairo. Like, I recorded that with my phone, and that was around about 10 a.m. in the morning. So that's why I called it 10 a.m. in Cairo, and I'm letting people hear this what it sound like. And you'll hear a guy like saying a prayer, and you hear traffic and all this, but that was like a real thing. Like, he was saying a prayer, and it's on the speakers through the whole town so they could hear it. So I'm like, man, I got to put this as the audio, and I'm going to call this 10 a.m. in Cairo. You know what I'm saying?
Unique. So what are some of the challenges and rewards of being an independent artist in today's music artistry?
Just being genuine was probably one of the biggest challenges for me, like dealing with people that are genuine. And just just people being flawed, and cause I come from the streets. I'm gonna just be honest, and the way how I thought and how I was brought up, you know what I'm saying? Your word is everything, you know what I mean? Like, so when I was dealing with a lot of individuals and they telling me this and empty promises, or you telling me this, I'm really holding you to that. And then when you don't hold up on your end, it's like man, it's like this man, he can't even keep his word. Like, I can't even rock with you for real. You know what I'm saying? And that mentality, it kind of hurted me in ways. Like, it has hindered me because, you know what I'm saying, I have to understand. Now that I'm becoming older, I understand. But in the beginning, I didn't understand, until I started looking at it with a different perspective as I became older. But then I kind of held everybody to the same standard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, keep it real, da-da-da-da, boom, boom, boom. And I just didn't understand that everybody wasn't brought up the way how I was brought up, or, just think the way how I think. And it took time. It took error, you know what I'm saying, trials or whatever like that. But that probably was the biggest thing that I had to overcome was, finding genuine people. But there are genuine people in the game, and different people that I still know to this day that I met. Like M37 Jace, man. That's a good brother there, man. And many others. But yeah.
Okay. So, how do you maintain authenticity and stay true to your artistry vision and constantly evolving music landscape?
I just try to surround myself with genuine people. I'm not the type of person. I really don't chase at the clout. Like I really don't. Like I am the clout. That's how I look at it. Like I'm the wave. You know what I mean? And some people they don't really like that confidence in me, but I stand on it, and I ain't about to dim my light for nobody. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I
big on
always
that.
was told that, and I understood that. Like, man, don't dim your light for these folks. You know what I'm saying? Don't slow down. Make them catch up. Like Hines, you did.
Yeah.
And it was just something that stuck out to me, to where it's just like, man, I ain't trying to go after this and do this and that, because when you start doing that, like you'll get lost in that. You start thinking, oh, I got to be here to feel included. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because I done been around a lot of famous people. I done been in rooms with a lot of different famous people and know a lot of different famous people, but yet I'm still me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you got $1 million, a billion. I'm still gonna be me. Like, you gonna feel me like, oh, okay. And that's what's gonna make me stand out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I strive on. Why fit in when you can stand out? Like,
Yeah.
straight up.
So, you collaborated with some notable artists. What have you learned from these experiences?
So I mean, there was a few different artists or whatever and experiences that I learned. I try to just soak up game from whoever I'm working with. I mean, so if I'm working with a artist or whatever, and it's something that I like, actually, if I'm digging it, like I'm kind of listening, like, oh, okay. And I ain't even gonna say I ain't. Sometimes it just I might learn something from somebody I didn't even expect to learn something from. I might sit back and somebody might tell me about engineering or how they, lay down their tracks or something. I'd be like, oh, that's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? So, it'd be cool, because you never know who you can learn something from. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that mindset was something that I always stuck with me too. Is just, you can learn something from the janitor. You know what I'm saying? Or you can learn something from the principal, but you treat the janitor with the same respect as the principal. And, that just kind of, that always been my mindset as well.
That's good. So, what advice would you give to aspiring artists who are looking to make it in the music industry?
Just stay true to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stay true to you. You could take advice from folks, but don't apply so much advice to where it's like what they saying is law. Like, that's verbatim. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just take bits and pieces, apply it to it, whatever. If you feel like it applies to what you do, then that's what it is. If it don't apply, let it fly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But don't get so caught up in the hype and feeling like you got to be a certain type of way to get in the mix. But you also got to know what you in it for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to know what you in it for, because things change. Like, for me in the beginning, when I first started as an artist, I was in it. I was trying to get signed. And, that was different opportunities that came to me. But along the journey, I just understood, like, that ain't really what I'm trying to do. Like, if it was
Yeah.
a situation that came to me and I felt like it was worth it, then I'd probably go with it. But it's like my mind not even on that. Like, I'm creating something so much bigger than just, what I mean, just this little piece of paper I'm about to sign that
Yeah.
probably ain't gonna add up to what I'm trying to do. Is gonna get in the way of what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm
Yeah.
building a real brand, and I feel like that's what's gonna end up making more sense at the end. Like, from my my YouTube vlogs, my music, about to get ready and start launching out the merch and stuff again, and fitness and just all these different things. You know what I'm saying? And just creating that platform. And I feel like music has allowed me to do that. You know what I mean? So the independent route for me, that's just the way to go, but I'm not, against something coming, but it got to make sense. And they have to be for the vision if they do come to me, but just stay true to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if it don't align with what you're trying to do, don't even try to force it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
then you're going to have all these different regrets and stuff later. I see it all the time with artists and hear it all the time with artists, and
Yeah.
they just not happy with their situations. But if you had been a little more patient, asked questions, or just held out, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, you could have been probably in a different predicament. And, you know, like you said, patience,
Yeah.
you know. So that's what it is.
So, how do you balance your music career with your personal life, and how do you maintain your mental well being?
Balance. Balance is the most important thing. Like when it comes, cause in the beginning, you know, I kind of was struggling with juggling all of that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was so full fledged into one thing, running around in the streets or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, just feeling like, you know, this is what it is, and I'm gonna be 100% with it, you know. But over time, I had to understand, okay, this is balance. You know what I'm saying? Whether if it is with my marriage, it's with my family, like my parent, my mother, I mean, and you know, siblings. Like I got to balance this out. My nephews, nieces, and a lot of times I, you know, like weekends or certain times during the week, I just, you know, take time to just pour into them. You know what I'm saying? And that's usually what I do. And I think I'm getting better with it as I become older. Cause now I'm really getting it. When you start seeing kids grow, it
Yeah.
start letting you know, like, oh man, yeah, for real.
Yeah. So, what are your future goals for your music career, and where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Man, my future goals for my career is out of space. Like, you know what I'm saying? I look up to so many different like moguls and, you know, icons and, you know, artists like Ice Cube. Like I respect Ice Cube and what he created, the platform. Like Ice Cube, I just told my bro Kaki, I was sitting down with him and I couldn't remember where I got it from, but I was saying that music is the battery, right? With the battery, when you understand that music is the battery, as long as you keep that going, you can power whatever, but you always got to go back to that source.
Yeah.
I remember hearing Ice Cube say that. And when he said that, it stuck with me because when you look at everything Ice Cube do, it all goes from with the music.
Yeah.
So when he do the movies and all that, man, that dude doing soundtracks and all that, like Friday, like, man, Ice Cube killed the game. Like, man,
Yeah.
he really walked and crawled so that we could fly, like, for real. Like, he really killed the game. And there was other individuals too, like Master P. Like Master P making movies. That man was in the NBA. Like that man did a lot of things. And when you got cats like that, that's kind of just laying out everything. It's like, how can you lose if you really take notes? You can learn something. And I be watching like a lot of these guys. Like, man, that's how I'm gonna be. And I've done stuff like that. You know, just it ain't been on a bigger scale, but I'm already doing it. Like, why wait until when I be like this, I'm gonna do this. Like
Yeah.
I made a short film. You know, that's called Throwing Salt. So if you have a chance when y'all check me out on YouTube, just look up KD Gotti Throwing Salt short film, and you can watch that short film. It's about maybe 10, 15 minutes. Great film too, by the way. You know, you can get your little popcorn before you watch it. You know what I mean? Get your slushy, just sit back, relax, turn it all the way up to the max, and enjoy, you know?
I know that's right.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to accomplish before 2025 is like over, outside of music?
So I'm already accomplishing what it is because I'm gonna tell you something real. When it come to goals and success is really happiness. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody look at
I agree
success.
with that. Not to
You
mean
know
to
what I
cut you
mean?
off, because you can't have success if you're not happy.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
and
saying?
you can't measure success. You know, success is something different to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But it's not based off of what people project onto you to what they
Yeah.
think, because that's what you'll get caught up in thinking. Like, oh, he ain't doing this or she ain't doing that, and the third. But as long as you happy in yourself and you striving to be the best version of yourself,
Yeah.
that's success. Because it's a lot of people that's doing stuff and they ain't happy doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like you really moving in your purpose when you can vibrate in that frequency of you being yourself and, you know, being happy, you know, because everybody gets so caught up in material and money, you know what I'm saying, that they don't realize the experiences and coming to peace is what you should be going after. And it took the time for me to understand that. But now I've came to realization that that's what life is really about, is just finding your peace and being happy. You know what I'm saying? And if you do that, if you do them two things, you'll be much better in life. You know what I'm saying? It's people out here that don't like you, that do like you, whatever.
Yeah.
It don't matter. I'm happy. I'm cool. I see you at the top. And he
Yeah.
talking about like I see you at the top, and that's just kind of how I think, you know.
Okay. So thank y'all for getting connected with Chrd Magazine.
Core magazine, we out.